certification. The July 13th, 2020 meeting of the Mid-State Technical College Board of Directors and all other meetings of the board and or its committees is open to the public in compliance with state statutes. Notice this meeting has been sent to news media and designated persons, in an attempt to make citizens of the Mid-State Technical College District aware of the place, time, and the agenda of the meeting. This is a time for open forum. Do we have anybody there for the open forum? Dr. Okay. This really is an opportunity for someone to speak to the board if they'd like, and we have certain ground rules. I will forego that tonight as long as no one's there. We need a motion on the June 15th, 2020 board meetings.
Move to approve.
This is Betty, also approve. Then I'll second.
Okay.
I think there was did I see an excuse for Craig Gerlach, but then later in Bob's notes, it shows that Shallow was excused.
I think he was there, wasn't he?
Gordy was there. No. Yes.
Yeah, so under the chairperson's report, it should just, I think it should just say Gerlach was excused.
Okay.
Okay, please change that. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Action on consent agenda items. Payment of bills and payroll, contracted service agreements.
I'd make a motion to approve
Okay.
I'll
the
second.
consent agenda items.
I'll second the agenda, or the consent agenda items.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Robert Bieber,
Yeah.
Betty Drew Malik,
Yes.
Justin Herder,
Yes.
Richard Burton,
Yes.
Linnea Miller,
Yes.
Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, we're at the chairperson's report. Welcome to the meeting, everybody, although we're spread out a little bit with the virtual because of the virus. Kristen has asked to be excused, as well as Gordon Shallow and as well as Craig Gerlach for commitments that they have otherwise. The Summer Boards Association meeting has been moved to a virtual format on July 24th. Anyone's interested should notify Angie so arrangements can be made. And I got an email from Ann Anderson about what we need to do to see that. And Betty, it's just going to be the in-service activities, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And it's going to come, notice that it's going to come to your Mid-State email. The link's going to come into your Mid-State email. So.
Yes. Yeah, you're right, Rick. Thanks for that.
Bob, this is Shelley. I just wanted to throw out that I know that there is the virtual option, but I just wanted to extend because I had talked to a couple of board members that was kind of before if they were going to do virtual or not. If you as a board, if you wanted us to open up one of our campuses for you to be able to do this together, that would be something that we could accommodate. So I just wanted to send that, send that message to you. So it's really depends on your comfort level. But if you recall, this was going to be the district board meeting that we were hosting. And we will be sending out a small little gift package to all district board members from you. So in case you do get some emails thanking you for the gift of cheese, I know Angie is working on that right now. But I just wanted to extend that if you wanted us to have one of our campuses open for, if you wanted to come to attend together, we can facilitate that. But again, it is up to you. But I wanted to just extend that offer, and you can let us know if you want to do that.
Okay, thank you very much. ACCT Leadership Congress is in September. Early registration is open. If somebody needs to go, they should let Angie know. I think we kind of talked about and decided that as long as we were canceling out-of-state travel for staff, we were not, as a board, not going to do that ourselves unless it was absolutely necessary. And I don't know if somebody's presenting down there or not. I don't know. So I'll leave it at that. The board, yeah, the board will review policy in accordance with every other year review of schedules, beginning with the August board meeting, and it'll be presented in 3 groups followed by final approval. Any questions on that? Okay, the next meeting will be held July 13th. We're having that. It'll be the August meeting, and it'll be at Wisconsin Rapids. I assume meetings or committees are going to start at 4 and 4:15 as usual, and your regular meeting at 5:20. The August meeting.
That would be, Bob, if you want to have that face-to-face option. So that would be what you as the board can kind of discuss. Do you want us to plan for that, or would you like to still do virtual? So again, this is your meeting. So we as a college will accommodate however you would like to do it. So you tell us what you would prefer.
I think, from what I get of what Kristen said and a couple others, and I personally would prefer that we do virtual for a couple more months.
I think it makes sense to continue doing virtual for now.
That's the way I would feel comfortable doing it for the time being.
I would be agreeable with that, but I would still like our quarterly July meeting, if we could be at a site, preferably because of better internet connection. So I would be in favor of having a place available for our quarterly meeting. But that's my choice. This is Betty.
For the District Board Association.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm good at home with that, thank you, but that's okay. I understand what you're saying. Anybody else? If not, Shelley, let's plan on at least August and maybe September. We'll shoot for virtual, and if that changes, we can change.
Yep. Okay. No, thank you. And then what I'm hearing is, who is, I guess, can I ask, who is planning on, I think Betty brought up the good suggestion of maybe having you travel to participate in the DBA meetings. So depending on who would be doing that, we would then accommodate the closest campus to wherever you're at, rather than making you all drive to, so I guess, and not maybe everybody was going to participate. Usually there's maybe 3 or 4 of you. So, and the people that were planning on attend, I guess, do you know who is going to be participating or who would want to drive?
I am, but I want to attend at home.
Okay, so Rick's going to, but he would prefer to attend virtually. Okay. And who else?
Bob's the same way.
Bob would be
virtually, yeah.
Okay, and then
Same.
Linnea virtually? Okay.
Yes.
So then I think, Betty, we can connect. If you would like to come to campus to partake.
I would.
Okay, then what we'll do is we'll work with Brad and his team to be able to do that. And I will be able to attend in the morning as well. So you and I can be in a room, okay?
Okey-dokey.
Okay.
Okay, you're up, Shelley.
Okay, thank you. So just wanted to give a little bit of an update regarding the potential closing for the paper mill here in Wisconsin Rapids. We have been working very closely with a number of groups, so I wanted to give you just an update on what we have done. So you may have heard that the legislators, Krug and Teston, had put together some community meetings, and we did host those here at Midstate. And out of those meetings, there were really 2 committees that were formed, and both of those committees are also meeting here at Midstate. So just feel very proud that we're able to really use our campus to be able to have these meetings, even though they're meetings that have a lot of emotion to them. Also this week, we are starting to host the employee group meetings. So all 900 employees will be coming to campus over the next couple of weeks. We have 16 different meetings scheduled. some of them as early as 6:30 in the morning, where they will be hearing benefit options and, of course, what Midstate can do to help them. In addition to that, there's a third kind of prong, and that is we are also hosting an educational fair for them at the end of this month. So that means that UWSP will be here, other educational partners, again, just to be able to give them all the options that are out there for them to choose the best decision for them. I have been receiving a number of questions. Do I know anything as far as more of the detail of the closing of the mill? I do not. I can just tell you that the committees are working very quickly, and I think as strongly as they can. One committee is really a community resource group, and the other one is working with the governor's office, trying to figure out what they can do as far as helping with either the sale of the mill, or again, what can we do to have them not close. So just know that there are those ongoing conversations that are occurring. Also wanted to let you know that because we again don't know when COVID is going to be post-COVID, the campus conversations that I typically have in the fall semester and in the spring semester, I have elected to do one this month. So I think I have 5 or 6 virtual meetings that are scheduled for all of our employees to be able to come into the forum, to be able to hear some updates from me, and really just trying to make an effort to try to stay connected with employees. This is a really hard time. I need to say that because, as you know, we don't have all the employees on campus, and there's just a lot going on. And depending on, I think with COVID, they say we're all in the same storm, but we're all in different boats. But just knowing we're trying to do our best to stay as connected as we can with our employees. With that, the COVID core team has been meeting, and we're working on the details to move to phase 3, which of course means our fall semester. So we're thinking our phase 3 is going to start around August 3rd. This would mean that there would be more employees coming back to campus, still not 100%, but we would be offering in-person classes, which are going to be small class sizes, 6-foot distancing, and so forth. Mask will be required. Nothing has changed that way. Our limited lobby hours will probably be expanded a little bit. We very much can tell for our districts, our people want a face-to-face option, and that's definitely what we're finding. But if you recall, our first phase began on May 18th. Our second phase began June 1st, and so we're thinking our third phase would be August 3rd. So I will keep you abreast of what we'll be doing. I'll probably CC you the email again that we'll send out to the college, just so you know what we're doing. But please, if you have any questions throughout any of this, or if you hear something, please just reach out to me. And I just want to kind of extend that in general, because it's hard to stay connected to the college when we're also having these virtual meetings. So please, if there is something you'd like an update, or just to talk to me, please give me a call. I just really want to extend that to you all. I also wanted to talk about a special invitation that you're going to be getting for an event that will be happening next Wednesday, which is July 22nd. I'm hoping that you remember the name Mr. Wayne Bushman. He was the gentleman who came to talk to us and really came out saying that he would help us, if you recall, with our Advanced Manufacturing, Engineering, and Apprenticeship Center. And with everything going on with COVID, and if you may recall, in the fall semester, we were dealing with a possible impeachment of the president. We really probably since last October, we haven't been asking people for support. We wanted to be very sensitive to everything that is going on. But hopefully what you see on the screen is an invite that you're going to be receiving. So Wayne Bushman definitely is an entrepreneur and is a big supporter of the Stevens Point community. And there was a building in the Stevens Point Industrial Park called the Jerns Building, which was a large building that sat vacant for quite some time. One of his businesses, which is Sunrise Point, he has stuck really millions of dollars into this building to be able to renovate it for a manufacturing company to come in. And that manufacturing company is Gamber Johnson. and they were going to be doing a ribbon cutting for the revitalization of this building. Wayne called Bobby and I and said, I have an idea. Where the Journs building is, it is the same block where I would like to donate the 9 acres of land to Midstate. So you have the land for the project, and it can really kind of be a new launch to let people know what we're trying to do and how people can become a partner. After Bobby and I met with him, it very much seemed like the right thing to do. Wayne is very excited about our project, as you know. Joe Kinsella, Scott Grahowski, all on board, and they really do believe that even though we need to be sensitive moving forward, they want to be able to start asking again for some support. And I can tell you, just today, I have received 2 donations, both of 6 digits. And one of them will be shared at this ribbon cutting next week. So we got Portage County Business Council involved, who really wants to thank Wayne just for his revitalization that he's doing in the Stevens Point area. And we're very appreciative that he would include Midstate in his giving back to the community. So you will receive this invite. We will have social distancing. People will need to wear masks. We are working with Subway that there will be a boxed lunch that will be given to everyone. There will be remarks, which will be the Portage County Business Council, Wayne. I will be thanking Wayne for his donation. There will be one of our other supporters of our project who will be there to challenge the rest of the businesses. But I wanted to let you know about this because this all happened within about the last 7 days. But we're so excited that Wayne would think of us. So if any of you are able to come next Wednesday, please do. Once you get the invite, you can just let Angie know if you can stop in. But this definitely shows that we will go on. And as we've been looking at the data around manufacturing, the most recent report came out of WEDC, which was the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. They are saying from a manufacturing standpoint, we will be back to where we were within 2 years, even after COVID. So this project definitely will still be needed. We'll continue to look at the data, but it's great to see that people have not forgot about this project and want to continue to make this happen. But this event will be highly visible. There will be legislators there. I think we're expecting over 100 people. So just know the ambassadors from the Stevens Point area, it's going to be a big deal. So I wanted to make sure that I got the invite to you. So any questions on this at all? This is exciting for us. As far as WTCS updates and WTCS President Association activities, just a couple of things to report to you. Last week on July 8th, I did participate virtually in the WTCS State Board meeting and the President Association meeting. So that was 7 hours of virtual meetings back to back. During the WTCS State Board meeting, there were many topics that were covered, including the approval of the WTCS grant guidelines for 21-22, discussion around credit transfer and the progress that we're making, and the budget request, one of them that we will be making to the state for an increase in student financial aid dollars. The WTCS is the largest higher education sector, but we lag behind both in student average grant award and overall funding compared to the UW colleges and to the private colleges. Therefore, we're going to be asking the state for $11.8 million each year of the new biennium to increase the Wisconsin grant award to $1,100 for each student. And I'm very excited about this. To be able to qualify, typically right now, you need to at least take 6 credits to get any financial aid from the state. We're asking for the recommendation to take that down to 3 credits. So where we think that especially with times of that we're in right now and more students going part-time, those students who are taking 3 or 4 credits, they need that assistance as well. So we are hopeful that the state can support that, but that will be one of our asks. If you remember a couple of years ago when we were setting the budget, we had an ask for the students, which again was financial aid, and then we had an ask from the colleges. We have not decided yet if we will have an ask from the colleges, but this will be our ask for the students. WITC, so Wisconsin Indian Head, was the college that was supposed to host the July meeting. And because the meeting was held virtually, John Will, their president, was able to profile the college and did a great job. And you may recall Midstate was supposed to host the September state board meeting, but I have been asked to give a presentation as well since the meeting will be done virtually. During the president's meeting that was held right after the state board meeting, topics included roundtable sharing on COVID strategies, along with enrollment trends being seen across the state. I can tell you that we are all in different places. There are some technical colleges that are down considerably in enrollments, considerably being 30, 40%. There are other technical colleges that are up about 0.5%, and there's a lot of us that are in the middle. When we talk about COVID and the strategies, you have some colleges that are doing temperature checks. You have other colleges that are not even requiring a mask, and definitely working with all local health departments. So of the 16 colleges, we're all in very different places, but it's really good to talk what everybody is doing, because I think we're learning from one another on, how to deal with some of the students and how to deal with some of the staff. And with so many of the colleges like ours kind of being closed since the middle of March, you can imagine trying to kind of bring operations back in a time when COVID numbers are still increasing. There's a lot of anguish from a lot of people at the colleges. So just know we're continuing to try to work towards that. One thing that I'm very proud of, though, is the group of presidents, and we've worked on this for about the last 6 weeks. We wanted to come out collectively to have a voice to oppose social inequality. And we wanted to be able to use our platform to do that. When you think of the recent things that have been in the news, and we know that our colleges have to be an environment where it can be very inclusive. So we, as a group of presidents working with Morn in the state office, we came out with 5 strategies that we are committing to. Each college will do it differently. Their activity around these 5 strategies will be different based on where they're located and what we're currently doing for diversity and inclusion. But I'm very proud that we were able to get all 16 colleges to agree on these 5 strategies. The first one being that we will have sustained conversations on systemic racism. So we will have a continuous platform. We will review curriculum through a lens of equity in student access and success. We will use data to close equity gaps seen within districts. We will review our hiring and our retention policies to promote diversity. And we will increase our transparency in what we are doing around inclusion and any outcomes that have been achieved around these topics. Karen Brzezinski is our person here at the college that works with Natasha, people on Mandy's team around diversity and inclusion. And I think one thing that we discovered is we have a whole lot of things going on, but we really haven't sat all those people down who are working on it together and say, gosh, this year, what can all of our efforts achieve? Because we can probably go further if we unite our activities rather than everybody just doing kind of what they think. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that definitely will increase the conversation here at Midstate. And when you think of our district, we do not have a lot of diversity. And that also means among staff, we don't have a lot of diversity. So I'm just excited that all 16 colleges, you can imagine, to agree on something does not always happen. But I think from a collective voice, I'm proud of that, very proud of that.
Any specific discussion on protective services?
Yes, some very specific conversation around protective services, working with the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice is the holder of the curriculum for the Law Enforcement Academy, but the colleges are the holder of the curriculum for associate degree law enforcement programs. So we very much are getting together our associate deans and our deans that oversee that programming and get them together and have those conversations, look at the activities that are happening, working with the Department of Justice. And we're hoping that if we can say, look what we're doing, they will also say the same thing. And I know at the state level, I am hearing some conversations that are occurring. So, but we want to start with that program, the law enforcement, but we really want to bring it throughout all of the programs because there are some things that we can learn. We can learn and we can always be better, but we have to identify that we need to keep looking at it to be able to be better. So, yes. And then I'm glad Bob had already addressed the July district board meeting. I had just wanted to offer what I had brought up before. So again, we will work with Betty on that, but otherwise that would end my report. So I would push it back to you, Bob.
Bob, you're muted.
Chuck's up for Finance and Infrastructure Committee.
Rob reviewed the invoice questions we had and addressed the concerns we had with the consent agenda items, and we've already approved those. As noted in your agenda, due to the timing of the meeting and year-end closing activities, the month-end financial reports will not be available until the August meeting. We've got a 3-year facility plan that was sent to us earlier by PDF. Is Matt available? Is he going to do any report on that for us?
Briefly, Chuck, basically the WTCS requires us to submit a 3-year facilities plan every year. And so about this time every year, we go to the board and ask them to approve our 3-year facilities plan. It's the one that Angie sent out earlier today for review. Just want to emphasize that it's a framework and it's not set in stone. It's basically kind of the direction the college is looking in terms of some of the projects that we intend to do to support the programs that we see needing some sort of modification or programs perhaps that we might need to add. So as you look through that, keep in mind that it's a snapshot of where we're at right now, and it is subject to change. The WTCS understands that. So, the FY21 is pretty solid. That's a budget we've established and projects that we're working on. In fact, FY22 and 23, of course, or every year that we do this, the 2 further years out are a little more subject to change. Who knows when COVID's going to upset things a little bit, and we have to, make some modifications to our plan. But, yeah, so it is what we're submitting, what we intend to submit. Are there any questions?
Well, yeah, Matt, can you guys still get people on campus to work and do stuff, contractors?
Yep. We've had contractors here. We've got contractors working in Marshfield and in Wisconsin Rapids right now.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's a very well laid out plan. A lot of nice detail and work went into that. I'm a little bit concerned about the big bubble of projects in 22. 21 looks reasonable. 23 looks reasonable. I'm hoping we can move out some of that investment or move up some of that investment in 22 to smooth it out a little bit. That's a big chunk.
It is, yeah. And there's some discussion that we'll have to have, of course.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Sure.
That being said,
Why can't we see your picture, Matt? Are they trying to keep you out of sight?
Bob, the last time you saw me, you made a comment on my appearance.
Okay, I had that coming.
We don't let him out much, Bob.
No.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 3-year facilities plan as presented by Matt.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. This is Betty.
Okay.
Betty.
Roll call, please, Angie.
Robert Beaver,
Yes.
Betty Brucey Malik,
Yes.
Justin Harris,
Yes.
Richard Burden,
Yes.
Linnea Miller,
Yes.
Charles Fargo,
Yes.
Okay.
Matt, are you still on?
Yes, I am.
So is there any progress on the simulation center? How's that going?
We just had, it's been, obviously for months. And we did just have our first weekly construction meeting this last Tuesday. It looks like they're going to start construction again here in early August. I don't remember if it's August 3rd or 4th. Let's be 3rd. That's Monday. And the timeline, the construction timeline that they laid out still has us being completed, they say by Thanksgiving, certainly early December, that the project will be completed. So it should be ready for the first of the year.
Yep, we're hoping to be ready and be advised so we could have our class offerings there in January. So we're hoping that between Thanksgiving and the first part of the spring semester would be move-in time.
Okay, any other questions or thoughts?
Yeah, I've got another informational item if no one else has any more questions for Matt.
All right,
Item 1D on the agenda has an informational item on WILM. Is Brad Russell available to give us an update on WILM 2.0?
Yes, I am. All right. Thank you, Chuck. As you may be aware, WILM was established in 2000. WILM is a consortium made up of the 3 technical colleges, Lakeshore Technical College, Wisconsin Indian Head, and of course, Midstate. It is a data center housed at LTC that hosts our PeopleSoft instance comprised of our student information system, our enterprise resource planning, our finance system, and our human capital management system. WILM also hosts other shared applications such as SharePoint, Cognos, Receptive Content, and many more. Since 2000, WILM has underwent very little change, most notably a switch from a data center managed by third party to one managed by WILM funded personnel. One of WILM's purposes is to advance the initiatives and projects of WILM and or each college as needed or where collaboration efforts were not possible for one reason or another. For the past few years, through experiences, listening sessions, and the president's feedback, we have heard of the challenges of completing projects and initiatives on time, usually as a result of not having enough resources or control of resources for planning and other purposes. This has presented a challenge for each college to accomplish items necessary to enhance the end user experience for students and employees, prompting the need for a change for WILM and our college. As a result, the president's tasked the WILM board to develop a new model to address the lack of resources for completing projects and initiatives on time, provide better accountability for the WILM CIO, look for ways to collaborate more, and allow for less meetings. The WILM board, in conjunction with the WILM CIO, business analysts, and participants from each of the colleges, developed a new model called WILM 2.0. This model went into effect July 1st of this month and allows for WILM resources to be better managed through WILM and not through each college, giving better visibility and planning for WILM resources to work on initiatives and projects. It also provides a new organizational structure that allows for more accountability to be placed on the WILM CIO. It shifts the WILM board's focus from operational to strategic. Additionally, processes and procedures have been put in place that will also foster more collaboration between the colleges when applicable. Lastly, it provides a means for WILM participants to have less meetings, freeing up time for more value-added activities. So what's next? WILM 2.0 should allow WILM to better work for each college to achieve their goals. This next year will be a transition year for WILM 2 or for WILM 2.0. We will monitor how things are going, what is working well, what isn't, and make any needed changes where possible. We're optimistic this new model will help our college and WILM complete more initiatives and projects, more opportunities to collaborate on items with the other colleges to help us realize efficiencies and costs and resources. If WILM 2.0 doesn't work or does not help us achieve the desired results, the Midstate may need to look for other options either within or outside the consortium. With that, any questions?
Is it going to cost us more?
If we went outside of the consortium?
No, with WILM 2.0, if more resources are needed, I presume our costs are going to go up?
No, that's a good question. Right now, we're anticipating a cost neutral solution with WILM 2.0. What actually transpired was each college had historically 2 positions in kind for Willem. However, the guidance of everyday activities was mostly done through the college versus Willem. So that presented a problem when it came to resource constraints and availability. So with 2.0, one of the things that we did as part of this organizational structure was each college took 2 positions that were in kind and made them essentially Willem positions that are led and directed daily activities by Willem personnel versus the college. So that gives that more control and visibility into each person, what they're working on a daily basis.
Okay. Good.
Any other questions? You got anything else, Chuck?
If Rob is there, he can maybe add if there are any financial implications for topics in other committees.
The only thing that I would throw out is that very likely next month we'll be bringing forward a request to authorize another $1 million debt offering to finance the cosmetology remodel. So just sort of a heads up there, but that's all I've got. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Rob. I guess that's it for the finance committee then.
Okay, Academic Student Service Committee, Betty?
Our committee only has informational items today, and they will be both given by Dr. Mandy Lang. The first one is on graduation, and then the second one will be the K-12 Administrator Partner Meeting. Dr. Mandy, where are you?
I'm right here. Thanks, Betty.
Okay.
Okay, so first topic is graduation. As you know, we had to postpone our May graduation ceremony due to COVID. We had set a tentative date of August 16th, thinking that the situation would improve by then. And unfortunately, it has not. And it's been really difficult kind of decision to look at that. But based on guidance from our local health departments, who are really advising against large gatherings, we have decided to postpone the ceremony again for our May 2020 graduates. We surveyed them, so we sent out a survey to all of the May graduates and to find out what they would like to do. And we gave them several different options. We gave them the option of telling us that they were no longer interested, if that was the case, but then also would they prefer a drive-in option in August? That was something that we could do. We could host a December ceremony combined, like both our May and December graduates, or a separate ceremony in December specifically for our May graduates. And 40% of those who responded shared that they would really prefer a separate ceremony in December. So that's what we're planning right now, to postpone the ceremony to December 13th. And then we would hold 2 ceremonies that day, one for May grads and one for December grads. Any questions at all on graduation?
You do that on each individual campus then, Mandy?
No, this would be combined like we have, just like we have been for the last year, where all in our Wisconsin Rapids gym.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other contingency thoughts to December 13th? And what's the realistic expectation that things will be different, unfortunately, then versus now?
Yeah, that is something that's kind of in the back of our minds, and we would continue to kind of survey our students and just see, when we did this latest survey, about 30% of those who responded kind of said that they were no longer interested in anything. I kind of expect that to keep kind of going up a little bit, unfortunately, if it ends up being postponed. Again, and it gives us a little bit more time. Hopefully, we're hopeful that we would be able to do something in December. We have had students request like a cap and gown, even if they're not going to participate, just because that's something that's really that they like to have, right? And you kind of hold that and keep that for many years. So we are providing that option to those students as well.
Any other questions?
Very good, thank you.
Okay, my
Your next one's Mandy.
Yeah, second topic, our K-12 Administrator Partner Meeting. So we hosted the annual K-12 Administrator Partner Meeting in a virtual format this year. So usually this is called our Administrator Breakfast. We weren't able to provide a breakfast with the virtual format this year, but the good thing is we had actually our highest participation ever this year. So we had 18 attendees. Representing all but one of our local schools. And our agenda included a discussion about COVID, really including about how we as a college could help and assist the schools if they were looking for anything and any assistance. And some of the schools shared just their tentative planning efforts where they were at as well. We talked about other partnership opportunities, dual credit assessment, and other dual credit updates. And Shelley gave some updates about the college as well. It really was a positive feedback overall. One comment at the end was, you guys have vastly improved MSTC services to our schools. Great job. And that was from Tri-County. Any questions? Okay, back to you, Betty.
Thank you, Mandy, and that concludes our committee report.
I'm next.
Mr. Beaver, we're finished.
Sorry, I screwed up again. What's new? Human Resources and External Relations, Justin?
Yep, that's us. Okay, we have one informational item this evening with Dr. Bobby is going to walk us through that.
Yep, just information on the consent agenda that you approved earlier this evening. In your packet, Exhibit C, page 19, really covers the June contracted service agreements and the proposals. And when you look at that page, we're just very pleased with the activity in our contract training. We booked $3,250 roughly in contract training. So those were contracts that were signed. We also finished up in collaboration with Mandy's team and Student Services, all of the K-12 dual credit agreements. And you'll see on that exhibit that the $865,160 is the amount of tuition that was actually provided to the students in our districts and their families. So that kind of wraps up that piece for the year. And then, of course, at the bottom, you'll see a table of the contract training proposals. It was a really good month for us in June. We've had a number of our local stakeholders come to us and ask for training proposals. And you can see a number of them have already been accepted. Some of them contingent on our workforce advancement training grants. But we're really proud of the activity that's happening and the confidence that our stakeholders really share in the college. So it's kind of coming through in some numbers for us.
Very nice work.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Anything else, Justin?
Nope, that should be it. Then that'll conclude our report.
We've got one more item, the informational items. You'll probably see up on the board the Summer Choice campaign. Just a comment on that. Typically, we don't do a large campaign in June, a marketing campaign, but there was so much uncertainty around college choice, and that really was evidenced by the numbers that we were seeing in enrollment. So between all of the divisions here at the college and those that sit in on the enrollment management team, on 5/25 when we had our meeting, we were down negative 19% in FTE. So we decided to do a summer campaign, and we really had the primary messaging was we wanted to get out that students have choices, that they could take a small class, they could use our technology, they could take online, but whatever they were struggling with as far as coming back to college, we could really serve their needs. So it was really the theme around choice. You may have saw commercials, we had radio ads, we had a lot of digital marketing. So I'm happy to just share with you that campaign, in addition to the outreach work, which was a calling campaign by student services and some other advising techniques that they had used, we're down to a negative 7.8%. So in 6 weeks, we really closed the gap by 11.5%. And I think Mandy would agree that we're not done yet. But I just wanted to share that in case you saw that campaign come through that was really focused on really helping us increase fall enrollment and in the visibility of the many ways people can learn here at Midstate.
I've seen the ad.
Good
I
job.
the ad, so yeah. Right. Bobby, don't go away now.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that is now it. Yep, thank you.
Okay. Committee of the whole is next. And Bobby showed us proposals on the college mascot. In fact, they're kind of getting it ready to go. And I would be the last guy to try to describe good art. So would you like to show a slide or two of that, Bobby?
I'll give it a whirl again. How is that?
Yeah, okay, I appreciate it. I think the mascot would look better than us, quite frankly.
Wow. Yeah. Bear with me for 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm going to try one more time here.
We can see the first page, Bobby. We can see the sneak peek page. That would be all.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
struggling with turning it. So I just asked Angie to email it to you. It's so darn good. You can send me your comments back being through email. But we've kicked off the imagery, and we'll be ordering the mascot costume this fall. And we just have some really exciting things coming. So thanks for your time on that.
yeah, so appreciate the effort. Thank you. Next, we're at the committee, officer committee assignments and board association assignments. And I think everybody kind of decided where they'd like to land in terms of committee assignments with both the local board and the district boards association at the state level. And unless somebody's got some comments or thoughts, we'll go to discussion and action, which is election of officers. Okay, let's go to the election of officers. And Angie, I have a question. I know Betty suggested that we just elect the same slate. Can we do that with one motion, or do we have to do all three?
We should do all three, Bob. Please.
Okay. Somehow I knew that was the answer. I have called it for nomination of chairperson.
I nominate Bob.
I would like to nominate Mr. Robert Beaver.
Second,
I'll second. This is Betty.
Thank you. Now I got to call 3 times for other nominations. Is there another nomination? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? If not, you may move that nomination be closed and a unanimous ballot be cast for chairperson.
so moved.
I so move. I'll so move.
Second,
Okay, roll call, please, Angie.
Robert Beaver,
Yes.
Betty Hersey-Malik,
Yes.
Justin Herter,
Yes.
Richard Burton,
Yes.
Linnea Miller,
Yes.
Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Pass. Okay, Vice Chair, there any nominations?
I nominate Kristen
I
Kraft.
would like. Thank you. I'll second that nomination, Eddie.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? If not, could we have a motion to approve the nomination be closed and the unanimous ballot be closed for Kristen?
This is Betty and I would so move.
Is there a second?
I'll second. This is Justin.
Okay, roll call, please, Angie.
Robert Beaver,
Yes.
Betty Malik,
Yes.
Justin Herder,
Yes.
Richard Merton,
Yes.
Linnea Miller,
Yes.
Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Motion carried. Secretary, or call for nomination for secretary, or are there any nominations?
I nominate Linnea Miller.
Is there a second?
I'll second that. This is Betty.
Are there any other nominations for secretary? Are there any other nominations for secretary? Are there any other nominations for secretary? Not hearing any. Could we have a motion to move that the nomination be closed, that the unanimous ballot be cast for Linnea?
So moved.
I would so move. This is Betty.
Second.
Roll call, please, Angie.
Robert Beaver,
Yes.
Betty Malik,
Yes.
Justin Herder,
Yes.
Richard Merton,
Yes.
Linnea Miller,
Yes.
Charles Spargo.
Yes.
Motion carried. Treasurer, call for nominations for treasurer.
I would so move to nominate Mr. Charles Spargo for treasurer for Midstate.
Is there a second?
Second.
Did I hear a second or no?
Yeah, Linnea.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Are there any other nominations for treasurer? Are there any other nominations for treasurer? Are there any other nominations for treasurer? Hearing none, is there a nomination to close nominations and cast unanimous ballot for Chuck?
I'll so move. This is Betty.
Okay.
I'll second. This is Justin.
Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please, Angie.
Robert Beaver,
Yes.
Betty Malik,
Yes.
Justin Herder,
Yes.
Richard Merton,
Yes.
Linnea Miller,
Yes.
Charles Spargo,
I guess.
Could we check with Janet? Should we check with Janet? Is that the deal? Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Committee assignments, finance and infrastructure, academic and student services, human resources and external readiness. Everybody seemed to be happy where they were. If there's somebody that wants to change, we just let Angie know. Are there any other thoughts? Okay. Is there anything else that you have, Angie?
I do not, thank you.
Okay. Kelly, you got anything else?
No, that's all we had for tonight.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
For a second?
Second. This is Betty.
We stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
For those that aren't here physically, just impressed with how well the building is set up here for social distancing and all of the hand sanitizing and the doors and just very good preparation.
Thank you. We're trying. We're
Great.
trying to stay out of the news, everybody. We're trying really hard.
Thank you, Rick.
Rick, are you guys taking just regular patients in right now? That expires? Are you taking regular patients, just anybody wants to walk in?
Yeah.
Who are you? Okay.
But the clinics are, it's like the Nakusa clinic is not open yet. So they're opening up the different clinics, as time goes. So I believe Adams is open now. Rome is not, I don't believe. Nakusa is on the schedule, but it's not open yet, so. But yeah, they're taking patients. If you need something, yeah.
Okay. I was just curious because Adams is not yet unless you're or I don't mean not your clinic, but Gunderson Mountain View. You have to have a specific thing that you need in order to do it. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Have a good week or two, folks, and enjoy this fine weather. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Talk to you
for your
soon.
words. That's
Bye.
very nice.
Very good.
It's really the staff. They have done.
Goodbye.
See
Goodbye.
you later.